Hey, Miss Kay, how are you doing, hon?
I'm good. I'm hoping my friend Bob Kelly calls tonight.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I'll put a reminder in my phone.
He's already lost 6 pounds. He's so excited.
Right on. 60% of the way to a Project 10. That's awesome. Hey, good evening. Welcome to the call. Tell us who you are and where you're calling from.
Hey, this is Tommaso Coma from Ormond Beach, Florida.
Florida, man, that must be nice. How's it looking down there, buddy?
Oh, it's like paradise, baby, paradise.
Awesome. Welcome to the call.
Yeah, this is Cecil Calvert, Rochester, Minnesota.
Good evening, Mr. Cecil. Good evening. Welcome to the call. Who else just dialed in? Where are you calling from?
Rochester, Minnesota.
Missouri.
Well, good evening, Miss Missouri. I think I heard a Rochester out there. Good evening.
Yes, Rochester, Minnesota.
Rochester, Minnesota. That's not the one I expected. Welcome to the call.
Thank
if
you.
You're just getting on the call, if you don't mind, tell us who you are and where you're calling in from. We want to welcome everybody to the Tuesday Night Hope call.
Hi, Ryan from Canada.
We let Canadians on this call. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, eh?
Welcome to the call, buddy. So, folks, if you're just dialing in, we got just a couple more minutes here before we get started. I just want to mention to you that we are, Visalis is currently on regional success training tour right now, and we're just coming out of Chicago last weekend, absolutely on fire. We got Jacksonville, Florida this weekend, Houston, Texas the following weekend, so we're fired up. We're stoked about this. We're celebrating more and more life-changing, life-saving results. So we thank you all for getting on the Tuesday Night Hope call. If you're just calling in, if you don't mind, tell us who you are and where you're calling from, please.
Bob Williams from Georgia.
Good evening, Bob.
Good evening.
Did I hear Tish?
Yes. Hello there. This is Honey.
How you doing, sweetheart?
Fantastic.
Hey, we got more folks calling in. Good evening. Welcome to the call. If you don't mind, tell us who you are and where you're calling from.
Rob from Vermont.
This is Eva. Go ahead, dear.
Yeah. Folks, we'll give it just about one more minute before we get started here. Appreciate everybody's time on this Tuesday night. Every Tuesday we do these calls to help to motivate people, to inspire people, quite honestly, to help change people's lives. And we do these every week, Tuesday night. Calls are recorded. They're posted on our YouTube page, the TeamViHOPE YouTube page. So if you're looking for a topic and you say, man, I know somebody who's got PCOS, or I know somebody who struggles with thyroid problems, you're always welcome to check out our YouTube page under TeamViHOPE and check out all the past calls. So we've got just about another 30 seconds here. If you've just gotten on the line, tell us who you are and where you're calling in from, please.
Eva from LA. Hello.
Good evening, Eva.
Kevin here, Pasco, Washington.
Washington, nice. You got folks from all over the country tonight, and even some from Canada.
Atlanta, Georgia, Kirk Jacobson.
Hey, Kirk, how are you, brother?
Good,
Thank you
David.
so much.
Thank you.
Do we have Monica on the line tonight?
She is. She just confirmed.
Excellent. Well, folks, it's 9:03.
I'm here. Hi, guys.
Hey, good evening. Thank you.
Monica. I called the wrong one, and it was like the first caller. I'm like, oh, that's odd. But okay. And
yeah,
I'm
that's funny. I've so been there, done that. So, folks, we wanted to go ahead and get started here. It is 9:03, and we want to thank everybody truly for their time tonight, for getting on this line, and for hearing what we've got to say tonight. We've got some amazing information coming to us. So, real quickly, I want to just tell you a little bit about my story, who I am, what my story is, quickly. My name is Dave Morgan. I am not only a Pound Club member and a TeamViHOPE founding member, regional director out of Louisville, Kentucky. My wife and I joined the challenge almost 3 years ago, and at the time, the two of us were both obese. My wife was grade 1. I was grade 3 obese. I was 310 pounds and 60 inches around the belly at 5'9". So you can imagine I look kind of like that clown that we all used to buy hamburgers from. So not a real healthy version of me. And because of one of the guys that's on the call tonight that's going to speak to us and a lot of his knowledge and wisdom, as well as the amazing products of Visalis, in my first 90 days, I went from grade 3 morbidly obese down to grade 2 obese and lost 41 pounds, something that my doctor had never, ever been able to do for me. So, fast forward a little bit, I began to exercise, dropped 105 pounds, put on several pounds of muscle, and have gone from somebody who my Friday and Saturday night was spent on the bed with my wife and dogs watching Redbox. Now my wife and I enjoy spending our lives actually enjoying life, doing foot races together and getting out and being active and riding bikes and going for swims. And we truly enjoy life, and it's all because of the amazing products and the tremendous support that we get from the Visalis community. So with that, I want to bring on our first guest tonight, Mr. Kirk Jacobson. Folks, Kirk is one of my business partners out of Atlanta, Georgia. He's actually presidential director within the company. But Kirk comes to us tonight on a topic that is nutritionally, why Vi? And Kirk is a nutritionist. He's also a biochemist, and I love him dearly. He's just a phenomenal brother. He's got a great story himself. So without telling that for you, I'll bring Kirk on.
Hey, David, can you hear me okay?
Absolutely, perfect.
Well, I've got frogs in the backyard jungle, and I've got kids in the den, so I don't know where to go to talk to you guys. If you can hear me, all right.
Yeah, you're great. You got a jungle on both ends then.
Yes, I do, and that's one of the things that have really impressed me so much about Visalis. Actually, is it doesn't matter how hectic our lives get, or actually, the more hectic our lives get, the more beneficial I find our products and our programs, because they are easy to do, they are inexpensive, and most important, they are effective for our fast lifestyle. So for me, as a father who started late in life having kids, I'm 53 now, and I'm running around trying to keep up with a 11 and 12-year-old that think they know everything already. So the way I got involved with Visalis was a bit of a kind of almost an insult to me. I that Dave mentioned earlier, I'm a nutritionist. I've always kind of picked out what we're going to eat, and I've done the shopping, and I make breakfast for our family every day. And one day, my wife came to me and said, "Hey, honey, I want you to make for me. Me and my girlfriends are taking a challenge, and I need you to make this steak for me every morning." And I kind of was insulted, but if you knew my wife, it didn't matter what I felt like. I do what I'm told, and I like it. But I started making these shakes for her begrudgingly, and I realized no matter how much it might have hurt me, I looked at the ingredients, products. I couldn't argue that they were actually pretty healthy. I just quick overview to make sure there wasn't anything in there that was going to hurt her. The long and short of it was, I became attached, and in less than 2 weeks, I started realizing I can't make a bad shake for her. I'm not going to turn her off of these things. And I actually began to like them and started incorporating. It was quick and easy to do, so I had a shake instead of making steel-cut oats with, organic steel-cut oats with organic flaxseed oat bran, wheat germ, flax, bananas, and all that stuff. That was more time-consuming. This was a couple minutes. I'm out the door for everybody. So,
I love it.
I'm hearing a lot of back noise. I don't know if
Let's see if that doesn't help us out a little bit.
And
Kirk, are you there?
I'm still here.
I'm sorry, I was trying.
That's not my house.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so let's get into the reason we've got Kirk on the line tonight, folks, is so that we can hear a little bit about what Kirk did to help Me and my wife lose a combined 150 pounds in 10 months. And a lot of this is somewhat basic to my wife and I anymore. It's ingrained in us. It's just what we do every day. But, we have the benefit and the advantage of having somebody like Kirk on our team to be able to give us this information. And so to have him on the line tonight, there's some tips and some things that we'd really like to get from Kirk. And so, Kirk, let's start off here. When you looked at Sharon and I, we sat in L.A. a couple of years ago, and you said, guys, when you start your day out, when you get up in the morning, there's a routine that we ought to be following to be able to kickstart our system in the morning. Can you take a minute and describe what that really ought to look like for everybody?
Yeah, thanks, Dave. And a first overall arching comment, it's really about developing good habits. We are the product of our habits, and what we put in our bodies is one of the most important habits. Just to back up one more step, the foundation that I utilize for health is I try to keep it concise. There's really four legs to the stool. You've got to have proper nutrition. That's proper nutrition, your proteins, your fats, and your carbs. You've got to have proper micronutrition. You've got to have the proper amount of sleep and water each day, and you've got to have the proper amount of rest or exercise, a way to de-stress, and that includes the proper amount of rest. But anyway, getting to your point, Dave, we're products of our habits, and what ViSalus, if you utilize the product just on your own and just say, I'm going to put them in my body, you're going to get results because it's healthy, nutritional foods. Our shake mix starts with 3 organic proteins that are grown on organic farms in Indiana. So that's the basis of what we're building the rest. Then we've got prebiotics, probiotics, digestive enzymes, a patented enzyme called aminogen that breaks down protein so that we get it all absorbed into our bloodstream where it can benefit us. A lot of people that have problems with weight and absorbing good food and are carrying too much, visceral fat and internal fat, they have poor absorption. And so ViSalus optimizes our ability to absorb not only the food that's in the ViSalus product, but also all the other food we eat because it's putting the good microorganisms in our digestive tract to help us improve absorption of all the food that we eat. And it's a process. Everyone's starting at a different stage, Dave. So but to get to your point about how do you start the day, for people that usually are carrying, 30, 40, 50, 100 pounds more weight than they should, that are obese or morbidly obese, you've gotten yourself to a pretty unhealthy state, and normally your metabolism is not where it should be. So one of the hints I gave to Dave and Sharinda is, hey, when you wake up in the morning, your body resets its metabolism it's like a smart computer. It learns what you're doing and it resets itself. You want to get that shake in your body. Have a nice glass of water on the way to the kitchen. Blend up your shake and get it in your body. That's going to be the best way to start your body. Once it realizes that it's got all the nutritional needs that it needs, your blood reaches blood satiety, your body's going to release the fat stores. It's going to start to burn those. So you want to get that shake going within the first 30 to 45 minutes. Really get up on your way to the kitchen, make that, then go back and do your morning routine while you're sipping.
I love it. That's awesome. A couple of minutes ago, you mentioned the prebiotics and the probiotics, and I know when we were talking earlier, you mentioned some things that I knew they were helpful to us, but, we see a lot of commercials on TV about these things, but you mentioned some things earlier that I had no idea about. I trusted you and I did them, but do you mind to elaborate a little bit on the benefits of those?
Sure, Dave, and that's where we really separate ourselves from all the competition out there. And I don't like the term weight loss because you told me about a guy that goes and fasts for 48 hours, 72 hours, and longer. And there are definitely benefits to that, and there are times when that can be beneficial, but you're still burning protein. Your brain synthesizes protein. Your body, your vital organs have to have a high-quality protein, and it'll rob your musculoskeletal system to get that protein. So when you do fast, I'm not saying fasting can't be good. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm saying it's not a habit that you want to get into of just saying, well, if I don't eat, I'm going to lose weight, and because weight loss, muscle makes weight 3 times more than fat does. So I can help anybody lose weight fast, but it's going to be the healthy way to sustain it. What ViSalus does with our products is we change the chemistry in your digestive tract. That's what's happening, so that you don't have some of the cravings. We get rid of the bad candida that crave sugars, carbs. We every time you have a shake, every time you eat the cereal, you are putting good flora into your body that's pushing out the bad flora. When you take some of the advice I gave Dave with putting lemon in your water, start to alkalize your body, snack on almonds, get some other alkaline foods in your digestive tract, greens, leafy greens, dark green leafy greens, yes, you're going to help to alkalize your body. These microbes, the bad microbes, don't like alkaline situations, so you're going to help reduce those, suppress those large colonies of microbes and get the good. Visalis puts prebiotics. Prebiotics are the fibersol 2, and it's not only got good fiber that you need for good digestion, but it's actually the food that the probiotics eat. So we're putting the food for the good microorganisms in there with the good microorganisms. So it's the left hand's helping the left side's helping the right side, or however you want to word it. It's a synergistic thing that we put in there, and no one else does. We have a complete. That's why we can say it's a complete meal replacement, because you're getting everything your body needs.
I love it. So another one of the tips that you gave me, Kirk, is before we go to bed at night, you said, guys, you're gonna eat dinner at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. You're probably not gonna have a shake again until 7 or 8 the next morning. And you think about it, and that kind of begins to put your body in. So, did you share with everybody what your tip was for Theresa and I before we go to bed at night to try and help get that off?
Yes, and it's a tip I use for people that are, there's a bunch of different reasons, Dave. GERD, gastroesophageal reflux, heartburn, different reasons for that. Some people, if they eat too late at night, they lay down and they start getting that reflux and heartburn. Visalis is a great long-term solution, not just a symptom cover-up like a antacid or something like that. You put Visalis in your body, it's going to quell and suppress and actually heal that problem. So I think you were pushing more toward about keeping your metabolism going, though. It depends upon where you are in your challenge, where you are in your journey. But yes, for some people that tend to get hungry, hey, when you're hungry, give yourself just take 2 scoops of Visalis or 3, depending upon how much you weigh, and stir it up in water. Put it in your body before you go to bed at night. Your blood sugar is going to be. I do that for all my diabetics. Everyone that's on that's the type 2 diabetic, and even my type 1s, I've got them doing that routine because it levels out their blood sugar when they go to bed at night. They don't have to take this big synthetic boluses of insulin or the metformin or the other liver and pancreas helping synthetic drugs. We can do it more with natural foods like Visalis.
That's huge. That is huge. I absolutely love it. Kirk, is there any one last little tidbit you want to share with the folks before we turn the call over to Theresa and Monica for the night?
Yeah, my biggest thing is it doesn't matter which comes first, the chicken or the egg. You've got really phenomenal products, and you've got some phenomenal support with calls like this and people on the call, like the gal coming behind me that are super passionate about good health, that are going to help keep you motivated. It doesn't matter if you fall. We're going to help you get back up. We're going to dust you off. We're going to encourage you, and we're going to give you and the company is never going to quit. They're going to continue to push the envelope to be the number one healthy fast food company in the world. That's a given. That's what their mission is. These 3 guys, think about 35 million. Who couldn't live the rest of their life very comfortably? 35 million. Each one of those guys said, we're in our middle 30s. That's not our goal. That's not our mission. Our mission is to, what I just stated. So they dumped $35 million after-tax dollars back in to buy their company back so they could control it and lead it to where they want to go. So that's probably more than you wanted to hear.
I love it. Kirk, thank you so very much. I'll be where we're going on our journey with you. You're amazing. And just thank you greatly for being on the call tonight. Folks, I want to turn this over to my co-host, Theresa Thomas. Theresa is not only also a founding TeamViHOPE and a fellow Pound Club member, but tell you what, this sounds interesting. So, Miss Theresa, are you out there?
I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, just really quickly, I'll give a brief background about my story with Visalis. I joined the challenge about 3 years ago at pushing 300 pounds and have always battled hypothyroidism all sorts of thyroid issues, developing into PCOS, as well as thyroid cancer. Been battling thyroid issues my entire life, which also results in not being able to take weight off as easy as the rest of the world, as well as keeping it off, maintaining. That is the biggest struggle as a thyroid patient. So ViSalus literally came into my life, and I was able to lose 41 pounds my first challenge. From there, I continued to go, and I never gave up and just kept setting challenges for myself, because that's the point. If you don't have a goal, you're not going to go anywhere, right? So kept setting challenges for myself, setting bigger goals. I was able to run 5Ks, 10Ks, a full marathon, and now I'm switching gears. I'm down 140 pounds, and I'm switching gears, and I'm actually training for the WBFF. So that kind of ties in. I have a role model that I'm going to be introducing who has been coaching me and has been so generous with tips on this next challenge that I have absolutely dove head first into. So I'm going to let her tell a little bit about her journey, her background, her life so far with Vi. Miss Monica Brant, are you on the phone?
Hello, Theresa and everybody. I am on the phone.
Awesome.
Theresa, just listening to your story just, wells me up, because I love people having success. I love seeing the goals met and the excitement about just pushing for more goals. So it warms my heart. It's been so great to just to get to know you, to be inspired by your story, and of course Dave's story. And I'm just really thankful to be involved with Vi. And this is exactly why I got involved with Vi. Exactly.
Good.
So I'd love to share my story. I know that's what you're asking here. I have. For those of you that don't know me, I've been in the fitness industry for 25 years, I suppose. I'm 44 this year. I'll be 45, and been involved with fitness and athletics my entire life. So I've never struggled with weight issues. But on the other hand, being a professional athlete and being in the public eye as a fitness personality, I guess, then I've always had to make sure I maintain a certain look and a certain athleticism for myself personally, but also for my career. I got involved with Vi about 2 years ago, mostly because I wanted to have an avenue to reach more people. I had a somewhat broad reach, but for the most part, it was all with people that were interested in competing in, events. Like I was a fitness and figure competitor for 23 years. Did fitness for the first half of it and figure for the second half. I won the IFBB Fitness Olympia in 1998, and in 2010 and 2013 won the WBFF Figure Pro at 40 and 42 years old. So my last show was August 2013, and then I ran in the USATF Masters track for 3 years. I'm a sprinter, so 1, 2, and 400 meters. So very athletic, and when I got involved, I had to test out the products myself, make sure that they worked for me. So I took them down my first go to utilize them full time, and I took them to the Masters World's Track Meet in October of 2013. I was running in Brazil, so I went down and took Shape and Crunch, and for 2 weeks utilized the products before I went public with my involvement with Vi. Just wanted to make sure that they could be used by me at that type of event. Came home with silver, bronze, golds, and a new personal best in my 200. So I thought, well, if I can compete at my best and feel good on them, then I can definitely go and promote the challenge. And next step was getting my family involved. Long story short, my brother, his wife, 2 kids, all lost a little over 100 pounds last year on the challenge. My nephew is autistic. He lost 35 pounds. My brother at 45 lost 40 pounds, got off 3 high blood pressure meds. Like, the stories go on and on. My sister-in-law this year, first time in her life in the gym working out. Vi is definitely a catalyst for people to get healthier and then to look for more goals. And I just love that about Vi, and that's really what has, kept me here, to seeing the stories and knowing that the products do work. This year, my brother and I I did my first 90-day challenge this year. I was in the fitness active goal category, and I ran 3 Spartan races in my first 90 days. My brother and I got to train together for the first time in our lives and compete in the same races together. So what a blessing and what an awesome story. And I always say, if nothing else came of my Vi involvement, but to be able to compete and train with my brother and have my family healthy, it's been such a blessing. So that's kind of my story about Vi and why I'm involved. And I'm here with my husband and goddaughter. Sorry if they're giggling in the background here, but
No, you're okay. You're okay. I love it. That's the thing about Vi. Is family's always involved, and you're always setting goals. So you're pushing towards a new goal, I know, and always being involved with your family is great. So we love it. I know your family's lost a lot of weight too. So you yourself, I'm blessed to be able to live in the same city as you. So you get to follow me around and smack bad food out of my hands. But
just the peanut butter.
It
just
is.
The peanut butter, Theresa.
Hey. Don't throw me off there. Gosh. Anyway, so Monica has been so great. She gives great advice about the shakes and what they do to your body. And our previous speakers just talked about this. Vi changes the chemistry of your digestive tract. So with that being said, we're always getting these questions, and we all know that Vi has great nutrients. They're so valuable, and we get tons of questions. So, Monica, I just want to ask your advice. We have a lot of people that might be on this call or might be contemplating joining ViSalus and accepting the challenge. A lot of things that we get is I get stomach gurgles and headaches during my first week of taking the shakes. Why am I getting this, and how can I get over it? What are some ways that I can remedy this? Monica, I know you have an answer for this, but what are some other things besides that that we may experience during our first week? And then those things that I mentioned, how can we get over that hump?
Well, sure. And I just have to say, I really enjoyed listening to Kirk, and I'm in agreement 100% with everything he said. In my experience, my personal experience, I have literally been doing protein shakes since 1992. And back in 1992, they were not very tasty. But I knew that I needed to get protein in, and I started, learning about nutrition back then. And again, 1992. And I just understood that protein was the building blocks, that protein was the most important component of my of me being involved in the fitness industry and being able to utilize my muscle, build muscle. I've never been trying to be a bodybuilder. I was always strictly fitness, but I just knew getting in enough protein was essential, and one of the easiest ways to do that is to include protein shakes into my nutrition. So, thankfully, I've been able to use Vi now and have really tasty protein shakes, and, I have enjoyed the benefits of Vi just like, so many other thousands of people now. But like you said, there are some people that have digestive issues, and the biggest, one of the things that I've really realized going forward with this is that this day and age, there's more people that have digestive issues, and I think the biggest reason is because of the lack of healthy nutrition up to the point where they decide to make a difference and jump on the challenge. And since Vi comes in with these products that alter the digestive tract, it takes time to do that. You can't turn a big ship around very quickly, right? It's a little bitty rudder, and it takes some time. So if you look at Vi as a little rudder that's going in and trying to alter the digestive tract and and the thing is not everybody jumps into Vi and is 100%, cheat free and healthy from the get-go. They start taking shakes, but they still eat bread, they still have dessert, they still have alcohol, they still do these other things, which ultimately still are in the system. And then they contribute their stomach issues to Vi because that's maybe the thing they've added in, and all of a sudden. But what's happening is Vi is trying to go in there and take care of the dirty and the bacteria, and is basically built up bacteria that's in the gut that is causing these issues. So I always just encourage people. Number one, you have to give this time. You can't. Your body's not going to change overnight, and if it does, it's not something you want, because then it's a rented body and it's not what's going to last. So anything that we do, we have to ask ourselves, is this something we can do for the rest of our life? And I'm proven I've proven the fact that since 1992, for sure, 1 or 2 protein shakes a day for me has worked. And thankfully now, again, I've got Vi, so I have a great product that I can utilize. I get it for free. That's even better. So, so I have to just tell people, first of all, we've got to start making wise choices in all the other surrounding pieces to Vi. And a lot of times, people are still using milk. And so one of the things that I do with all of my customers and all of my promoters and anyone that comes into Vi through me, and if I can help with more people outside of my team, I certainly do, because I'm about sharing information. But the thing that I like to do is I have everybody write down everything they eat and drink, and I call it the good, the bad, and the ugly. I don't care what it is, whatever goes into your mouth, write it down. I need times, and I need how much you've had, and let's look at a 3 or 4 day journal of everything you've eaten. And I like people to write it down because, number one, they're being accountable to themselves, and then we go back to look at it together by phone if we're not in person, and we literally go through piece by piece. Okay, what was this and what was that? And I tell you how many people have looked at what they've eaten for the last 3 days, and they don't even need me to tell them it's bad. They don't even need me to go, this isn't a good choice and this was bad and look how many hours you missed here. So it's really it's not just one thing that can change it, but it's the whole combination. It's the whole little puzzle pieces that all fit together. And when people write things down, not just punch them into some app, I'm not a huge fan of apps, to be honest. I like people to be accountable and write it down because it's embedded in, and then you literally have to write down if you ate the entire bag of something. And then they have to keep track, and then they have to show it to me. So, I'm not trying to judge anyone, but we're really trying to tackle what is the big issue. And most of the time when people have stomach issues, it's because they've been in a really unhappy place for a long time with their food. They bring in a good product that's trying to readjust their system and clean out their digestive tract and exchange the chemistry in the digestive tract, as Kirk was explaining. And this is what's happening, and so they have to give it time. So sometimes we'll cut back the shakes to 1 scoop once a day, and then as that builds, we'll go from there and make sure that they're having it with water or the unsweetened almond milk if they like that. But we really just try to just bring it very simple, very clean, and incorporate it back in, gently. But it does go away, and, people can get through it, but they have to be ready to make that change. And I try to tell people this isn't something they have to do for life. I still enjoy my occasional treats, and I still like my wine once in a while, but I have been doing this for 20-something years. I have a very good, system about. I know when I have to be, a certain way, and I eat 80 to 90% good all the time. I travel with food. I take my own food. I'm responsible for myself for eating. So I don't leave it up to chance of, maybe I'll have a chance to go get food somewhere that's healthy. Even when I travel, again, I take my food, take my shakes, take my crunch. I am responsible for myself. And this is just how people have to become. And, the thing is there's no easy way around it. Eating is easy, but preparing is not. Being prepared is not the easiest part. And as long as people can start understanding that this is just how we're made, and thankfully now we have convenient snacks and healthy choices through Vi that makes it a lot easier, then the stomach issue will slowly start going away as they stay disciplined and they stay consistent, and we can start incorporating more shakes in. Drinking a lot of water obviously helps, and definitely not always with meals, but in between. I am a fan of room temperature water as opposed to cold water, and ice cold water. I think that room temperature is a lot easier on your system. And so, it's just making some wiser choices. And, again, the journaling really, really helps.
Monica, I love it. You've answered a few of my questions. I know, and you've answered 2 of my questions I was going to ask you about, if somebody wanted to track calories and needed to know a reasonable amount of calories per weight, per person. We all know that's different, but you've made a really good point. Writing it down holds you accountable. So if you eat the whole jar of peanut butter, you better write that down and admit it. So I've learned a valuable lesson today.
One other thing on that note, the thing that I really focus on in the very beginning for people is their protein content, because you can't change everything all at once. And if we try to change everything all at once for someone who's never looked at their nutrition, it would be really, really tough, and they would feel like a failure. They would feel just unhappy, because I couldn't send them a nutrition. I've had people ask me all the time, well, what do you eat? And I'm like, I don't want to tell you what I eat and how I eat, because that's not fair to you. I've been doing this as a professional athlete for too long. So let's look at what you eat, and let's see how we can alter it little by little to make better choices and better changes in your program. So the first thing that I look at, and the only thing that I really, really stress for people is changing up their protein. And I make people literally get out their calculator and add up. We'll go through their day 1, day 2, day 3 of their journal, and we'll add up how much protein did they eat. And I have a pretty good idea of, how much is 4 ounces and how much, different meats. And we just look at essential protein, not non-essential protein. Essential protein is what our muscles have to have in order to rebuild. So essential protein, just in case you don't know, is anything that had a mommy in the past. Anything that had a face is essential protein. So if it comes from that, then it's prime for building muscle tissue, your heart, your brain. Everything needs protein. So we look at protein first, and I just see, okay, you're taking in 30 grams of protein this day. Day 2, you took in maybe 50 grams of protein. Day 3, maybe we're back down to 40 grams of protein. My ideal amount of protein per day is 1 gram of protein per lean body pound. So most people are, 100 plus pounds, and majority of people do not get 100 grams of protein in a day. And it's very hard to get in that much protein. Again, that's why Vi is so good and so easy in between your meals to help increase protein. So if we're getting in, 50 grams of protein on a daily basis, you're never going to have those results that you're really needing. So all I do is the first week, let's just go back and start journaling again, and let's see if we can get that protein up to maybe 80, for the next few days, and let's see where that goes. And I give them ideas of how to do that, how to incorporate, more protein into their, into their days. And then, once they can get that in, then we can bump it up to maybe 100 grams. And then, it's just baby steps. So that's the first and the biggest thing that I see. And once people start getting in more protein, they usually are getting in better quality choices of other foods along with it, because they're starting to feel better, they see the results, and they get excited, and then they want to do more. So it's always that catalyst. And then once they understand that fat's burned in the muscle, and to have muscle, they got to eat protein, then it's just a way for them to really get excited about eating more protein, and knowing that the fat, once they get the metabolism up from the nutrients, nutritional value, then they're going to be able to release body fat into the system, hence into the muscle. The muscle's going to be growing and burning body fat. And it's just a beautiful system once it starts working for you that way.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much, Monica. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate your advice. I'm sure there's a lot of us out there that have been writing notes and taking stuff down, and might be stalking you on Facebook and Instagram to get some more tips. So thank you so much for being a guest on our call tonight. I'm going to try to wrap this call up real quick. Both of our guests have talked today about proper nutrition, right, and living a healthy lifestyle. So I just want to talk really quickly about the effects of good nutrition on the body. They're very obviously visible. Thank you so much for doing that. Visible effects of bad nutrition on the body, you can see it right away, right? The difference is that bad nutrition can destroy your body. Good nutrition only supports and builds up the body. Hence, the better goal in life is to maintain a lifestyle that promotes good nutrition. So, this will cause many positive effects. 5 positive effects, real quick. It's going to maintain normal body function. Awesome, right? Maintain healthy weight. You're going to prevent disease. You can pass along a good start to future generations. And it provides stress relief. When you provide stress relief, you're happy. Living a happy life is a happy lifestyle. Happy lifestyle, happy life. That's what we're here to do with Vi. We're here to change some lives, part of TeamViHOPE. If you're not already part of our Facebook group, please search us. We'll add you. We're all here to support each other, give great nutritional advice. We've had two very willing and honest, very just outright amazing advice, and I just wrote so many pages of notes. It's ridiculous. So I'm so fired up. I'm so excited to help you join the challenge. If you are not already on the challenge, please get with whoever got you on this call and accept the challenge already. We're so excited to help you. This call is officially over, and it has been recorded. Thanks for joining us.